Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
Work with regularly and you play with, and out of that comes a lot of...
Today, we mourn the loss of Peter McIan, the masterful producer whose work helped define the sound of the 1980s and launched Australian music onto the global stage. Peter McIan passed away on April 24, 2025, at the age of 74, after a brief illness. The news was confirmed by Men at Work frontman Colin Hay, who shared a heartfelt tribute on social media. McIan was best known for producing Business as Usual, 1981, and Cargo, 1983, the two groundbreaking albums by Men at Work that brought Australian rock to unprecedented international acclaim. Under his production, the band's hits like Down Under, Who Can It Be Now, Be Good Johnny, and Overkill became global anthems. Business as Usual made history as the first Australian album to simultaneously top the charts in both the United States and the United Kingdom. In his tribute, Colin Hay remembered McIan as a warm, intelligent, and talented man who had a deep understanding of music and an intuitive sense of how to shape sound. He helped us arrange all those songs and was able to sonically articulate what we were endeavoring to offer the world, Hay wrote. I wish I'd seen him more. Peter McIan was more than a studio technician. He was a sonic storyteller, a builder of dreams through music, and a guiding hand behind some of the most beloved tracks of the era. Though he has left this world, his legacy endures in the songs that continue to move us. His music plays on, eternal, note by note, memory by memory.
Well, now, you take a man who carries a gun. Seems like sooner or later he's going to have to use it.
With a twinkle in his eye and a charm as soft as prairie wind, Will Hutchins became a beloved figure of 1950s television, best remembered for his iconic role as Tom Brewster in the ABC Western Sugarfoot, 1957-1961. As the tenderfoot-turned lawyer with a rifle in one hand and a law book in the other, Hutchins brought a refreshing kindness to the rugged Western frontier. His gentle delivery and comic timing made Sugarfoot more than just another cowboy show. It was a portrait of decency in a dusty world. A Los Angeles native, Hutchins was born on May 5, 1930. After serving as a cryptographer during the Korean War, he studied at UCLA Film School and was soon discovered by Warner Brothers. He quickly became a familiar face on TV and film, starring in Hey Landlord, Blondie, and opposite Elvis Presley in Spin Out and Clambake. His career even led him to the circus, where he entertained as a clown and ringmaster, proof that performance was not just a job, but a joyful calling. Off-screen, Hutchins was admired for his wit, humility, and unwavering sense of humor. He embraced the dualities of his career, a star on screen and a playful spirit under the big top. Whether in cowboy boots or clown shoes, he brought people joy. Will Hutchins passed away on April 21, 2025, at the age of 94, from respiratory failure. He died peacefully, leaving behind his wife Barbara, a daughter, and generations of fans who remember him not just as Sugarfoot, but as a true original, gentle, generous, and unforgettable. Mike Patrick, the familiar voice to millions of American sports fans, passed away on April 20, 2025, at his home in Fairfax, Virginia, at the age of 80. According to ESPN, he died of natural causes. With over 3 decades at ESPN, Patrick became a true icon of televised sports, most notably as the lead play-by-play announcer for Sunday Night Football from 1987 to 2005, where he worked alongside legendary names like Paul McGuire and Joe Theismann. Patrick's career began in 1966 at a small radio station in Pennsylvania and quickly expanded to larger roles in Jacksonville, Florida, where he became a television sports director and called World Football League games. In 1982, he joined ESPN, then still a young network, and soon became one of the most recognizable voices in sports, covering everything from the NFL and NCAA to the College World Series and the Women's Final Four. More than just a talented broadcaster, Patrick was a storyteller and a source of inspiration. His quick wit and spontaneous humor, such as the now famous moment during a tense Alabama-Georgia game when he suddenly asked, "What is Brittany doing with her life?" left an indelible mark. He didn't just narrate the game, he brought it to life. Mike Patrick leaves behind his family, a remarkable career, and countless vivid sports memories. Though the stadium lights have dimmed, his voice will echo on, in highlight reels, in game day nostalgia, and in the hearts of generations of sports fans.
What is this?
Nothing. That's when I began my career as a quitter.
The world has lost a bright and sensitive soul far too soon. Sophie Nyweide, whose early performances in films like Mammoth, Noah, and An Invisible Sign revealed a depth beyond her years, has passed away at the age of 24. From her very first role at the age of 6 in Bella, Sophie captivated audiences with a quiet, radiant presence that made her unforgettable, even in the smallest of roles. Born in July 2000 in Burlington, Vermont, Sophie grew up between Vermont and New York City. A naturally gifted performer, she found joy and safety on movie sets, where she could lose herself in the art of becoming someone else. From appearing alongside Michelle Williams and Gael Garcia Bernal in Mammoth, to starring with Russell Crowe in Noah, Sophie embraced each role with dedication and grace. Her talents extended beyond the screen. She was also a writer, dancer, and a prolific visual artist. But behind the scenes, Sophie's life was marked by quiet struggles. Her family shared that she endured deep emotional pain and trauma, which she bravely tried to express through her writing and art. Despite the efforts of loved ones, therapists, and professionals, Sophie often insisted she could handle her suffering alone. In the end, the weight became too much to bear. Her family confirmed she died on April 14, 2025, after self-medicating to cope with the unspoken burdens she carried. May Sophie's story be a call for compassion, understanding, and deeper care for those battling silent storms. In her memory, donations are encouraged to be made to RAIN, the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization.
And they should be coming in about now.
One of the most legendary music producers of the 1970s and 1980s, Roy Thomas Baker, passed away at his home in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, on April 12, 2025, at the age of 78. The cause of death has not been disclosed. Baker will forever be remembered as the mastermind behind Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, a timeless anthem that became a global hit and remains one of the most streamed songs of the 20th century. Born in Hampstead, England, Baker began his career at Decca Studios, where he trained under legendary producers such as Gus Dudgeon and Tony Visconti. He worked as a recording engineer for the Rolling Stones, David Bowie, The Who, and T-Rex. His career really took off when he began working with Queen at Trident Studios. On the band's first 4 albums, Baker helped define their signature sound, layered vocals, complex harmonies, and dramatic arrangements that would redefine rock production. Baker's influence extended far beyond Queen. He left an indelible mark on bands such as The Cars, Journey, Foreigner, Mötley Crüe, and Alice Cooper. He was known for his big, bold, and dynamic production style and his remarkable ability to manage and unify the strong creative personalities within his bands. His talent, precision, and boundless creativity helped define the sound of an era. Roy Thomas Baker is survived by his wife, Terry Livrano Baker, and his brother Alan. His legacy lives on not only in the iconic songs he helped create, but also as a lasting inspiration to generations of music producers to come. A true sonic architect the world will never forget.
The early talent. How did that? What was Managua, Nicaragua?
Managua, Nicaragua was a hit song of the early.
Jack Nicholson, the reluctant rebel who redefined Hollywood. There are actors, and then there are icons. Among the rare few who transcend generations, genres, and trends, Jack Nicholson stands apart. With a career that has spanned more than 60 years, Nicholson isn't merely a fixture in Hollywood history. He's one of its architects. As he approached his 87th birthday in April 2024, the world paused to reflect on a man whose name alone conjures unforgettable performances, riveting intensity, and a cinematic legacy that will likely never be matched. Born April 22, 1937, in Neptune, New Jersey, Jack Nicholson's path to stardom was neither straightforward nor gilded. Raised under unconventional and complicated family circumstances, he wouldn't learn the truth about his biological parents until adulthood, an early lesson in the complexities of life that would later inform his layered portrayals on screen. Long before the accolades and headlines, he was just another young man in Hollywood, waiting tables and working behind the scenes, enduring auditions and rejections with quiet resolve. But even in those early days, there was something about him, an unpredictability, a flicker in the eye that promised something different. Nicholson wasn't conventionally handsome by Hollywood standards. He didn't charm with clean-cut charisma. What he brought to the screen was far more dangerous and enthralling. Authenticity. He wasn't afraid to be strange, aggressive, or vulnerable, and it was this magnetic contradiction that began to draw directors and audiences alike. His breakthrough came in 1975 with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. As Randall P. McMurphy, a free spirit trapped in a suffocating mental institution, Nicholson gave a performance that was electric, raw, and profoundly human. The film earned him his first Academy Award for Best Actor and marked a turning point in American cinema. It wasn't just a role, it was a revolution. McMurphy's rebellion against oppressive authority mirrored the broader cultural sentiments of the time, and Nicholson became its unlikely poster boy. From there, his star ascended at an extraordinary pace. He stepped into roles that most actors would hesitate to touch. In Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, his portrayal of Jack Torrance was so unnerving, so manic, it forever changed the horror genre. Here's Johnny became more than just a line. It became a moment etched into pop culture consciousness. Similarly, his turn as the Joker in Tim Burton's Batman in 1989 introduced a villain who was theatrical, hilarious, and terrifying in equal measure. Long before superhero franchises dominated the box office, Nicholson set the standard for what a complex antagonist could look like. But he wasn't content to be pigeonholed as a villain or madman. Nicholson revealed remarkable range in roles that were introspective, funny, and heartbreakingly human. In As Good as It Gets, he portrayed Melvin Udall, a cranky, obsessive-compulsive novelist who falls in love and struggles to change. For that performance, he earned his third Oscar. He brought similar depth to Terms of Endearment, A Few Good Men, About Schmidt, and so many more, each character flawed but full of humanity. What made Nicholson truly great wasn't just his ability to act, it was his fearlessness in exploring the depths of human behavior. He didn't just perform characters, he became them, giving audiences a front-row seat to the raw, unfiltered chaos of the human experience. His characters could be selfish, cruel, hilarious, tender, or completely unhinged, and somehow he made us care about all of them. He turned broken people into something beautiful. Throughout his career, Nicholson amassed an astonishing 12 Academy Award nominations, winning 3 times, placing him among the most decorated actors in history. But numbers and trophies have never fully captured his legacy. It's the emotional resonance of his performances that have left an indelible mark. You don't just watch a Nicholson film, you feel it. Outside of acting, Nicholson lived a life as complex and colorful as his filmography. Known for his love of art, basketball, often spotted courtside at Lakers games, and his wild bachelor lifestyle, he embodied the role of the rebellious Hollywood legend in real life. Yet he also endured personal struggles, turbulent relationships, health concerns, and the exhausting glare of fame. Still, through it all, he remained grounded in his craft. In recent years, Nicholson has largely retreated from public life, sparking speculation about his health and well-being. The last time he appeared in a film was in 2010's How Do You Know? And he has since turned down roles, including a rumored remake of Tony Erdmann, citing memory and focus challenges. Though the man himself has remained silent, those close to him hint at a quiet life away from the camera, spent in reflection and peace. That absence has only deepened the legend. Like an unfinished novel or a closed theater curtain, it invites both longing and reverence. Fans and filmmakers alike continue to celebrate his body of work, not as a relic of the past, but as a living masterclass in storytelling. Nicholson's performances remain required viewing in film schools, his name synonymous with a fearless, era-defining style of acting that is becoming increasingly rare. Jack Nicholson wasn't just in movies. He shaped them, stretched their boundaries, and made them more human. He stood at the intersection of risk and brilliance, reminding us that the most unforgettable characters are rarely easy or comfortable. They're real, messy, and unforgettable. That's the gift he gave the world. As the years go on and new stars rise, Nicholson's work continues to echo through the halls of Hollywood. Not simply because of who he was, but because of how deeply he made us feel. His characters asked us to look inward, to confront our own chaos, and perhaps to laugh at it too. And so, whether or not he ever steps in front of the camera again, one truth remains clear. Jack Nicholson is not just a legend, he is cinema incarnate.
After the second year, my parents wanted to know what I was going to do with this degree I was supposedly getting. And I said, well,
Few artists could distill the elegance of everyday life into pure visual poetry the way Gretchen Dao Simpson could. A painter, photographer, and creative spirit, she offered the world a perspective where stillness shimmered with meaning. From 1974 to 1993, she created 58 cover artworks for The New Yorker, each one a quiet revelation, a window into the subtle geometry of life. "My paintings are pieces of the world as I see it," she once wrote. And indeed, through her art, we came to see the world a little differently too. A graduate of Rhode Island School of Design, class of 1961, Gretchen's career spanned decades and disciplines. She brought her vision to cities across the U.S., Boston, New York, Minneapolis, before becoming nationally recognized. Her signature method of translating her own photographs into stylized, shape-driven paintings made her voice unmistakable. She received major commissions from the Atlantic Monthly, Absolute Vodka, and others, while her work found homes in museums, galleries, and private collections alike. Throughout her life, Gretchen was celebrated not only for her art, but for her contribution to public spaces and culture. She received the Pell Award, 2005, an honorary doctorate from Bryant University, 2009, and designed a 1,367-square-foot mural for the Rhode Island Highway Beautification Program. Most recently, she was awarded the Providence Art Club Medal in 2024. Gretchen Dao Simpson passed away peacefully on April 11, 2025, at the age of 85, surrounded by family and the quiet beauty she so cherished. Her legacy lives on in each shape, shadow, and color she so lovingly captured, and in the spaces her vision still invites us to explore.
I think absolutely. I think most of them were, and this surprised.
Andrea Blaugrund Nevins is more than a filmmaker. She is a truth seeker, a champion of the overlooked, and a storyteller whose lens captures light even in the darkest corners. With her Oscar-nominated short film Still Kicking, 1997, Andrea focused on aging performers, dignity, and joy, all under the spotlight of Palm Springs. Her documentaries, including The Other F Word, Tiny Shoulders, Rethinking Barbie, and The Cowboy and the Queen, bridge cultural gaps with empathy, wit, and a fierce intelligence. A New York native and Harvard graduate, Andrea's early journalism career took her from NPR to ABC News, earning her an Emmy Award. But it was through her independent documentary work that she found her most enduring voice, a voice for punk rock dads, female comedians, and the quiet revolutions in how we view beauty, aging, and identity. Her films were bold in content, but gentle in spirit, marked by curiosity and care. Outside of filmmaking, Andrea devoted her life to meaningful causes. She helped found Larchmont Charter School, served on the board of UNICEF's Southern California chapter, and founded the X Foundation, which supports women and girls in Los Angeles. In every space she entered, she built bridges between art and action, between pain and purpose. Andrea Neans passed away on April 12, 2025, at her home in Los Angeles, after a courageous battle with breast cancer. She was 63. Surrounded by her family and beloved dogs, she left this world as she entered it, with grace, courage, and unwavering love.
Well, it's true, you're out, but that account's mine.
Nikki Cat, a talented actor known for his bold and charismatic roles, passed away at his Burbank, California, apartment on April 8, 2025, at the age of 54. His family confirmed that he passed away after a long, silent battle with depression. He fought bravely, but quietly, his sister Elise Ravenscroft shared in a heartbreaking statement. We hope that by speaking openly, we can help break the silence and stigma that often surrounds mental health. Starting his career as a child actor, Cat quickly made a name for himself with memorable supporting roles in critically acclaimed films such as Dazed and Confused, Boiler Room, The Limey, and Insomnia. On television, he made a lasting impression as Harry Sennett on Boston Public, a morally complex and charismatic teacher who shocked, challenged, and inspired. Director Steven Soderbergh once said of him, "He was completely fearless. No idea was too big for Cat." On screen, Nikki was the embodiment of artistic risk-taking, an actor unafraid to push boundaries and explore the darker sides of human nature. From bullies to layered characters, his performances were raw, uncomfortable, and unforgettable. Nikki Cat leaves behind a unique artistic legacy, a distinctive voice in cinema that defied convention. He is deeply missed by his peers and fans, but his bold and honest performances will continue to resonate, reflecting the fearless spirit that defined him. The music industry has lost one of its most talented and beloved voices. Drew Zing, the guitar virtuoso known for his legendary work with Steely Dan and Boz Skaggs, has died at the age of 68. With every note he played, Zing combined technical brilliance with emotional depth, creating sounds that transcended genre and era. To his fans and fellow musicians, he was more than just a guitarist. He was a storyteller on 6 strings. Zing's journey was defined by his deep love of American music and his tireless dedication to his craft. His vast musical knowledge, combined with his unmistakable tone and soul, made him a sought-after collaborator and a quiet giant on stage. Whether lighting up arenas or private venues, his performances were always filled with joy, generosity, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. He was admired not only for his skill, but also for his humility and optimism, both on and off stage. His family shared the heartbreaking news on social media, expressing their deep sorrow and profound admiration. Drew spent his life sharing his unique gift, they wrote. We will forever remember his resonant sound and his gentle, optimistic spirit. His wife, Katerina, son Levon, and brothers Peter and Chris remember him not only as a gifted artist, but also as a loving husband, father, and brother. Drew Zing passed away earlier this week in San Francisco. Although the cause of death was not disclosed, his legacy resonates clearly, a lasting echo of art, passion, and heart that will continue to inspire generations to come.
If it was ego, as in, I want to be the best at this or whatever, I want to win all these competitions.
John St. Ryan, the beloved actor best known to audiences for his role as Charlie Whelan in Coronation Street, passed away suddenly on April 3, 2025, at the age of 72. His wife, Joyce, confirmed that he took his final breath in the hospital following a heart attack, surrounded by family. "We are utterly heartbroken," she shared, "but deeply grateful to have loved and lived beside such a remarkable man." Born in Burnley, Lancashire in 1953, John began his professional life as a martial arts instructor before transitioning into acting. He worked as a stunt double for Sean Connery in The Medicine Man and made his official acting debut in Channel 4's GBH. He later appeared in Emmerdale as Jameson, but it was his portrayal of Charlie Whelan, a tough yet tender long-distance lorry driver entangled in love and drama, that truly captured viewers' hearts in Coronation Street. After his time in the UK, John relocated to California in the 1990s, where he continued to act in supporting roles in television and film, including Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Murder, She Wrote, General Hospital, and American Cyborg, Steel Warrior. Away from the screen, he owned and operated the Red Rose Ranch, where he trained horses and riders in dressage and western riding, earning multiple international titles in Doma Vaquera. John St. Ryan leaves behind a legacy both quietly profound and widely respected, from his moving screen performances to his passionate life among horses. To his family, friends, and fans, he remains a true gentleman, kind, dedicated, and ever fearless in the many roles life gave him to play.
Here to present flowers and a Dodger jersey to Nancy B. Please welcome Nancy.
For nearly 3 decades, the warm, familiar notes of Nancy B. Heffley's organ lifted the spirits of millions at Dodger Stadium, transforming every game into a symphony of nostalgia and joy. As the official organist of the Los Angeles Dodgers from 1988 to 2015, Heffley was more than a musician. She was a beloved fixture, woven into the very soul of the ballpark. Born with music in her veins, Nancy began playing piano at the age of 4 and convinced her teacher to let her try the organ by 13. Her talent and passion led her from church services to professional ballparks and finally to Dodger Stadium, where she made her debut during a 1988 exhibition game, the same year the team won the World Series. With a memory bank of over 2,000 songs, she could pivot from Take Me Out to the Ball Game to Master of the House for Oral Hershiser's mound appearances, bringing laughter and life to the crowd. Behind the scenes, Heffley's commitment was as steady as her music. She and her late husband Bill commuted from Silver Springs, Nevada for every homestand. Even when her role was reduced in 2015, the Dodgers offered her a lifetime contract, a testament to the love and legacy she had built. She retired later that year, honored on the field in front of an adoring crowd. Nancy B. Heffley passed away on March 29, 2025, at the age of 89, leaving behind a melody that still echoes through the stands. Her music was joy, her presence comfort, and Dodger Stadium will never sound quite the same without her.
But much more for the touch of your whips, dear.
Alan Kxton, the distinguished British harpsichordist, passed away on March 22, 2025, at the age of 84. Over a career spanning more than half a century, he not only revived the music of the Baroque and Renaissance eras, but also commissioned and recorded numerous contemporary works for the harpsichord, leaving behind a profound and richly textured legacy in the world of classical music. Born in 1940 in Horsforth near Leeds, Kxton studied piano with Fanny Waterman before reading music at King's College, Cambridge, under the guidance of Thurston Dart. Deeply passionate about 17th and 18th century English music, he made his mark through numerous recordings on period instruments, including a 1682 Howard harpsichord and a single manual organ believed to have belonged to Handel. His Handel Harpsichord Suites album became one of Naxos's best-selling releases. In addition to performing at Wigmore Hall, the Proms, and across Europe and America, Kxton taught at the University of Birmingham and founded ensembles such as the Alan Kxton Singers and Alan Kxton Players. He premiered works by composers like Elizabeth McConchie and Ronald Stevenson, and was the first to record the complete piano music of his friend Alan Rawsthorne. Though he retired from public performance in the early 21st century, Alan Kxton continued to inspire from his home near Selby, North Yorkshire. He is survived by 5 children and a legacy of enduring music, a reflection of his refined spirit, deep knowledge, and extraordinary devotion to the art he so loved. With his guitar in hand and Oakland soul in his heart, Dwayne Wiggins helped redefine R&B in the 1990s as a founding member of Tone. His music, layered with jazz, gospel, funk, and vulnerability, became the soundtrack of a generation. Songs like Anniversary, It Never Rains, in Southern California, and Lay Your Head on My Pillow remain beloved staples of Black love and culture. But beyond his hits, Wiggins was a builder of sound, of careers, of community. From their breakout album, Who, in 1988, to the platinum-selling House of Music in 1996, Wiggins and his bandmates, brother Raphael Sayadiq and cousin Christian Riley, brought New Jack Swing to new heights. Fame came quickly, but so did strain. Despite creative challenges and industry pressures, Wiggins continued to carry the group's legacy, even touring under the band's name for 2 decades after the original lineup split. A passionate mentor, Wiggins nurtured young talents who would later become global stars: Zendaya, Kalani, Her, and Destiny's Child, to name a few. His studio became a sanctuary for discovery, guidance, and empowerment. Dwayne Wiggins passed away on March 7, 2025, at the age of 64, after a courageous year-long battle with bladder cancer. His family shared that even through illness, he remained fully present, with his music, his fans, and those he loved. He leaves behind a legacy not only of timeless songs, but of soulful service, mentorship, and a heart that never stopped giving.
So if you don't mind...
No, I do mind. The dude minds.
Jeff Bridges, a soul made of stories, strength, and stillness. Some actors captivate you with charisma, others with craft. But Jeff Bridges, he captivates with heart. His presence on screen is never loud, never forced, but somehow always unforgettable. Over 5 decades, Bridges has quietly built one of the most respected, admired, and soulful careers in Hollywood, not by chasing the spotlight, but by honoring the truth of every character, and more importantly, every chapter of his own life. Jeff Bridges isn't just a performer. He's a man who lives deeply. He has laughed at life, danced with demons, loved unshakably, and stood eye to eye with death. And through it all, he's kept one thing intact: his soul. In a world full of noise, Bridges is the rare artist who speaks in subtleties, and somehow says more than most ever will. Born December 4th, 1949, into the heart of the Hollywood dream machine, Jeff was never a stranger to the industry. His father, Lloyd Bridges, was a household name. His older brother, Bo, would also become a respected actor. But Jeff, even as a child, never seemed interested in fame for its own sake. He was always after something more meaningful. His breakout in The Last Picture Show, 1971, introduced a new kind of male lead, vulnerable, soft-spoken, quietly intense. From the very start, Bridges brought a human depth that stood out in an era full of hardened archetypes. And then, of course, came The Big Lebowski. In 1998, the world met the dude, a bathrobe-wearing, white Russian-sipping, bowling-loving philosopher who didn't fit any mold, yet somehow made perfect sense. Bridges infused the character with an authenticity that only he could bring. The dude wasn't just a role, it became a phenomenon. He was funny, yes, but also strangely wise, oddly profound, and undeniably real. In many ways, he mirrored Jeff himself, unbothered by expectations, rooted in simplicity, and always chasing the heart of things. What about you? Which of Jeff Bridges' characters hit closest to home? Does the dude reflect something in your own life? Or has another of Jeff's roles shaped how you see the world? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear what he's meant to you. Of course, Jeff's legacy doesn't rest on one iconic performance. His career is a tapestry of emotionally rich, fearless work. He gave voice to the extraterrestrial in Starman, mourned loss and reclaimed purpose in The Fisher King, and delivered a hauntingly raw portrayal of decline and redemption in Crazy Heart, 2009, a role that finally earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor. His portrayal of washed-up country singer Bad Blake wasn't just a performance, it was a confession, a hymn, a lifetime wrapped in song and silence. Behind the scenes, however, Bridges has navigated as many valleys as peaks. In the earlier days of fame, he wrestled with the disorienting pull of substance abuse, a familiar story in Hollywood, but never an easy one. And like everything else in his life, Bridges confronted it with honesty. He got clean, he leaned into his family, and he emerged from the fog not just with renewed health, but a deeper clarity of purpose. At the core of that clarity is his wife, Susan Kxton. Married since 1977, their relationship has been the quiet force behind his enduring strength. In a town known for fleeting love, Jeff and Susan are a testament to the power of deep partnership. Together, they raised 3 daughters, built a life far removed from the tabloids, and grounded each other through every storm. But in 2020, life threw Bridges another unimaginable challenge: a diagnosis of lymphoma, a cancer of the lymphatic system. Fans around the world held their breath. Here was a man who had given us decades of unforgettable work, now fighting for his life. But in true Jeff fashion, he met the moment with grace. Instead of withdrawing into privacy, he shared his journey. He posted updates filled not with fear, but with gratitude. He didn't hide his pain. He honored it, used it, and found meaning inside of it. The treatments were brutal. At one point, Bridges contracted COVID-19 while undergoing chemotherapy, a nearly fatal combination. He later said there were days he couldn't even walk. But somehow, through the exhaustion, the sickness, and the uncertainty, he held on. He kept showing up for his family, his fans, and most importantly, for himself. By the following year, the news brought hope. The tumor had significantly shrunk, and Bridges was on the mend. The joy and relief from fans was palpable. But what came next was even more remarkable: his return to acting in FX's The Old Man, 2022. The series, in which he plays a retired CIA agent drawn back into a deadly game, became more than a show. It was a statement. Here was Jeff Bridges, scarred but standing, weathered but wiser, returning to his craft with the full force of his lived experience. Outside the set, Bridges remains a Renaissance man. He released a critically praised self-titled album in 2011, a blend of Americana and soul that mirrors his storytelling on screen. He paints, photographs, and speaks out for causes close to his heart, especially environmental preservation and ending childhood hunger. His work isn't confined to a role or a frame. It's an extension of who he is, someone who wants to give, not just perform. More than once, Jeff has described his outlook on life post-cancer as radically changed. "Life is brief and beautiful," he said. "Love is the deal." These are not just platitudes from a man in recovery. They are lived truths. He has become a quiet beacon for anyone going through hardship, reminding us that resilience is not about toughness. It's about tenderness, about staying open even when life hurts. So, what's next for Jeff Bridges? Whatever he chooses. He may take another role. He may spend more time with his grandkids. He may write, play music, or simply walk on the beach with Susan. Whatever it is, one thing is certain. He will do it with intention, presence, and heart. Jeff Bridges is more than a beloved actor. He is a reminder that softness and strength can exist in the same breath. That surviving isn't just about living through something, but growing through it. That being the dude doesn't mean not caring. It means caring about the right things. In an industry of fleeting fame and performative perfection, Jeff Bridges stands as a quiet giant. One who has weathered storms, embraced joy, and walked gently with the world, and we are all better for it.